Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders Radio Network, as we are here again talking about the wonderful resources that we have in our elder community. And certainly one amazing resource that we all have been learning about is MorningStar Senior Living. And for those of you that have been keeping up with our podcasts, you've probably seen a lot of different amazing communities in the Pacific Northwest. And I wanted to come out to my backyard because we're going to talk about a very cerebral topic, and it's something that's very important to the mission and the vision of MorningStar Senior Living. And I am here with a wonderful lady by the name of Jeanice Harrington. And Jeanice, you are with MorningStar of Happy Valley in Oregon, outside of Portland. Welcome to our program, Jeanice.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be joining you today.
I'm so glad. And I love your little sign behind you where it says goodness, love, kindness, fairness, respect, and honesty. And those are all kind of the basics of the vision and the mission of MorningStar Senior Living. And it really shows in everything that you do. And today's topic is going to kind of be a little bit unique in the fact that, Jeanice, you are the assistant director of life enrichment, which is an amazing title. Life enrichment means basically helping to improve quality of life every day and bring joy to residents every day. Is that kind of a good analogy?
It sure is. It's a perfect analogy. And I love that you brought up the points back there, because it really is the core point of what we try to do as we're living with our residents here and improving their quality of life. And it's such an important piece of working at MorningStar that they're looking for people who really exude these qualities.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, before we get into our topic, tell me a little bit about your community as a whole. What kind of levels of care do you offer, and where are you located?
So we are in Happy Valley, Oregon, and it's near Clackamas or Damascus. For those who are familiar with the area, we're about 15-20 minutes outside of Portland.
Nice.
And we are in a great location here. Happy Valley is just booming. And at MorningStar here, we do offer services for both our Reflections community, which is for those residents who need memory care assistance. And also we offer assisted living. And many of our folks who are in our assisted living are also independent as well, and couples. So we reach a large group of people.
Yeah. So in other words, let's say mom needs care, dad doesn't need care. Mom and dad can still move into the community. Dad can live independently. Mom can have all kinds of care. So it's a beautiful way to keep families together, couples together, sisters together. Whoever may, want to stay together, you have that ability to do that, which
exactly.
I think is important to families today. Yeah.
Right.
So Jeanice, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today, because I'm kind of excited about this topic.
Me too. One of my favorite life enrichment activities that I work on here is I get to lead Bible study once a week with our community here, both our Reflections and assisted living, and just how important that is in individuals' lives and the need that they have for that. Sure. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today.
That's amazing. And obviously, because you are a faith-based organization, one of the things that I've really noticed about your communities is that you're also very inclusive, which I think is awesome. It's very awesome to see.
That is true. As we have filled up, it's been interesting to see the different folks who we have come to us, those who are believing, those who are not believing. We have very many different arrays, kind of like 31 flavors of, whether it's Catholic or Methodist or Jewish or Christian, Baptist based. Thankfully, what we are working on here is very inclusive for anyone who would like to attend.
And that's very true, because I've seen it with my own eyes. I know that I had a family member, my husband's family is all Jewish. And so they are definitely, actually, my brother-in-law went and toured Kirkland the other day. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And that's the thing for somebody that's Jewish that said, wow, this is such an amazing community. I'm not quite ready yet, but this is number one on my list. That was a nice thing to see, because
That
it's
is
so
nice.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you do in your Bible study. How did you get started in this?
Well, I have had experience in the past, and so it wasn't a difficult leap for me. And I felt comfortable leading when I was asked to. But what I have tried to do is to gear it especially towards our specific residents here and the needs that they might have. And so the format that I follow, we begin with opening with a few great hymns, 2 or 3 hymns. And then what we do is we always read God's word together. That is the main point of our whole Bible study. That's why it's inclusive and reaching to all different people of different backgrounds, of different faiths. What we do is we read 1 chapter a week together. And then after we read the chapter, we will try to discuss how it applies to our life. What can we get out of this? How can we apply it to us today? And so I do a little bit of, I will look into it and research it a little bit first, each chapter, so that I can gear it towards our residents and what they're going through in this stage of life, and make it really personal for them and for myself as well. God's word reaches everyone at any age. And so after we read a chapter, we'll talk about how to apply it to our lives, and then we'll sing a couple more hymns and close in prayer. And our format, it usually takes about 1 hour, which seems to be a really great amount of time for both possibly our reflections residents and our AL. It seems to be just about the right amount of singing and the word to really be compatible with our group of people we have.
Yeah. And for those of our listeners, when you say AL, that's assisted
living. Yes.
Yeah. We in the industry, we sometimes forget who's listening. So I want to make sure that you guys know. So obviously you have done an amazing things. How has that changed your life as far as being able to lead these groups? This is a wonderful calling for you to do something like this.
I am so blessed. I absolutely love working here. And when I was applying, just the concept that this was a faith-based community, I was so excited to be working here. It means that anytime I can pray with folks when they're having a difficulty or a struggle or a hard day, I can talk about it with my colleagues. I can encourage others as we read the word together.
Right.
It's such a freedom to be able to live what we believe instead of having to hold it back depending on where you work or and even, of course, we have residents who might not be believers, but yet reaching out in kindness and acceptance. And they love to come just to even hear the music and the worship. And they're intrigued. And it's been amazing to see our community as we've filled up and grown, to see our room filling up to where we're even thinking about, gosh, we might have to add a different room here because our room is full now.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing, what's really interesting, and it's certainly worth noting, is I think as we age, we're looking for more connection in a little bit more of something that has more meaning in our lives. And I think one of the things that, as we age, I've seen it within myself. There's things that you quiet within yourself. You don't have the same sense of priorities as you did when you were younger.
Exactly.
There's things, it's more like, I love the term that you used about reflection, because it is a lot of times it's, what do you stand for? What's your legacy? Who are you going to be when you're, when your life is gone? It's like, so a lot of those thoughts are happening with our seniors at the end of their lives. Starting to have those feelings at 66. So certainly, that piece is a big part of it. So tell us a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about if somebody's interested in your community. And, maybe there might be a way, and I'm just going to put you on the spot. Would they be invited to participate at one of these just to see how it would be for them to be a part of that?
We would absolutely love that. In fact, I really enjoy, a lot of our residents will invite their family members to come on Thursday mornings to attend Bible study with them. We are open for anyone and all residents and community members. And in fact, we do have a gentleman who lives in some apartments a couple blocks away, and he is going to be attending. His daughter's going to bring him.
Oh, lovely.
Because it seems to be something that is lacking for our senior community. A lot of churches, they might not be having the outreaches to reach the seniors, especially during the last couple of years. We've had difficulties, social issues with COVID and such. It has really been difficult for seniors, and for them not being able to go to congregation or not having churches that are doing Bible studies where they come to their home, as we have folks who maybe aren't driving anymore or have access to a car. For us to have an in-house Bible study available for them, where we are reading God's word together and gathering together in fellowship and uplifting up each other through our just difficulties, depression, through the aches and pains of our bodies, and just the sadness and loneliness a lot of COVID has brought to a lot of our communities. It has been so essential to offer this for us to join together still and be reading God's word and growing together, feeling his comfort through these hard times.
Exactly. So how do we reach you, Jeanice?
Well, if you are looking on the web, you're going to search for morningstarliving.com, and it will bring up multiple different communities that we have in Oregon, some different locations, but we are the Happy Valley location.
And if you go to Oregon, if you click on the state of Oregon, you'll see that Oregon has several communities in the greater Portland area, and Happy Valley is one of those wonderful dots on the map. And we're so excited to connect with you and share your message of faith. So thanks so much, Jeanice.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me.
We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.